Disclaimer, please do not attempt to contact anybody you see on the screen, anybody that may come up. This is all just my commentary and opinion. Viewer discretion advised. Trigger warning may contain disturbing and graphic details relating to the crimes against children and humanity. And disclaimer, there will be some crusty, nasty bitch on here acting like... Anyway, you know what? Let me be nice. Let me just let her speak for herself.
Like to put out there because, you know, being in my position, I have been in a position where I have been able to be vocal, and that means that I've had a lot of people reaching out to me with information. A couple of months ago, I had a...
Okay, just so you know, she is about to try to once again defame Virginia Giuffre, try to make her sound like she's a villain, even though this poor woman can't just simply rest in peace. But you know, this is what we've got. This is what happens when someone is given titles and privilege for no reason other than just being alive. This is what happens when people are led to believe that they are simply better than other people simply because of who they were born to, what family they were born into. And this is what happens when, yeah, anyways, just watch. You'll see what I mean.
British girl reached out to me, and she said that her and her friends met Jeffrey Epstein in Virginia the weekend of March 10th, 2001 at the Dorchester Hotel. Virginia lured them to Jeffrey's hotel. She made the girls lie and say that they were 18 years old. One was 13, one was 14.
And only Lady Victoria Hervey knows about this. Only she knows about this. She's the one who has all the information. She's the one who knows all this stuff that no one else can verify. But we just got to take her word for it because she's got Lady in front of her name.
They actually signed NDAs with Virginia, and David Boys paid them off. Now,
ooh, I am willing to bet David Boys is getting about sick and tired of this woman bringing him up, accusing him of illegal activity. I bet he's sick and tired of it. David Boys, when are you going to sue her? Please sue her for defamation, please.
They're too scared to come out.
Well, unless you've got evidence for any of that, I'm not going to just allow you to spew any cock and bull conspiracy theory that has come to your mind.
Once David Boys, it might take to the point where he passes away.
She must not be afraid of karma. I'm telling you what, she really just does. She really does think that she's just above it all, that her and the royal family are better than everybody. And here's what is truly sad. Here's what's truly sad. Let's pretend what she's saying is true and that she hasn't talked to Andrew in a long time and she's not getting paid to do any of this. If that is true, that is about the saddest, most pathetic thing I've ever heard. Because she's sitting there making herself look stupid, putting her head in the noose for this family, and knowing full well she's not going to get nothing out of it, not even going to get a pat on the head. She's not going to get nothing out of it. I mean, if it can be believed that she's just doing this all out of the goodness of her heart because she's just a loyal friend to Andrew. It almost sounds like he's getting her to say all the things that he wants to say, but he knows he can't say. But all the things that he actually wants to say. That's just my opinion.
And then I feel like the floodgates will open and all
well, you know
these
what?
people...
David Boys might well sue you. David Boys might well sue you over what you just said.
Well,
it's a
these
very serious
girls are
defamation.
in touch with the Metropolitan Police. So what I want to tell you is I'm very much in touch with the police, literally on WhatsApp, and they know a lot of information that you...
So, let me get this straight. Lady Victoria Hervey is buddies with the police that are involved in investigating this all. And she just knows things that we don't know, that us peasants don't know. But she's allowed to know because these police are so unethical and so unprofessional that they'll just tell her it all. Yeah, it sounds like bullshit to me.
Guys are not privy to. But
do you know what, Victoria? With the greatest respect, I think you talk utter shit.
All right.
And I'm sorry. I've known you a long time. I think you've disappeared down a conspiracy rabbit hole that is frankly
I've always been right about...
No, it's not a conspiracy rabbit hole. She's just telling straight up lies. She's just straight up lying, straight up being evil. That like what? No, there's no conspiracy theory here. She's just being evil.
conspiracies.
Because really, I mean, what is her conspiracy theory? What is her conspiracy theory? That all these women are basically just liars, and that they don't deserve justice, and that Andrew shouldn't have his title stripped, that Elaine should be freed, that that's her conspiracy. That she alone believes. Well, I don't know, maybe her elite buddies do, but
and you were wrong about the vaccine.
You don't give a damn about these girls. You don't give a damn about these victims. You think it's...
No, I don't. I don't give a damn about them, no. Because I was in the same files as Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Because I'm not a loser. None of us are losers. Only the girls are losers. Only the people who aren't in the files are losers. What is wrong with you losers?
Trying to smear all of them. You admit it. You proudly admit it. And I think it's shameful.
Why would I feel sorry for people that are liars?
We now know...
Who's lying, though? Who has been caught in a lie, Lady Victoria Harvey? Even the lie you claim you caught Virginia in with Alan Dershowitz, I don't necessarily believe that. I believe Virginia backed down from that, probably because she was most likely threatened, and she had to pick her battles. You know what I mean? She had already named a whole bunch of powerful men. You know what I mean? She had to pick her battles. That's what I feel and think. That's just my opinion. I think Alan Dershowitz is just as guilty as all of them. I don't care what Virginia retracted or said. I think he's just as guilty as all of them. He literally just got on there on YouTube and said that if Jeffrey Epstein had been a Mossad agent, he could have gotten him off of all charges. He's basically admitting that if you're an intelligence agent, you can get away with anything. You can get away with murder. You can get away with pedophilia. That's basically what Alan Dershowitz is saying. Does that sound like someone who's innocent?
From these documents, just how disgusting this scandal is, and yet still you come on shows like this, and you're still in total denial for reasons that completely baffle me.
Can we talk about the quality of girls? So Anushka...
So, let's talk about the quality of girls. That's what she's just said, about the quality of girls. As if you have to be perfect in order to get justice, right? See, this is what the problem with our world is. You're never going to find a victim who's perfect. You're never going to find a victim who hasn't done anything wrong. Because you know why? This is how these criminals protect themselves. This is how they protect themselves. By turning their victims into criminals to do their dirty work for them. Like, oh my God, this has been the cycle for years. This has been the cycle of pedophilia and stuff for years. So are we just going to say that just because these victims are groomed into traffickers that we should just let it all go and ignore it? Because, like, what? Like, what?
Giorgio as an example, you know what she did? Like, this is the caliber of person we're talking about. Anushka DeGiorgio.
Actually, I'm not going to let you smear them. I'm sorry.
She was the girl that set up Tom Parker.
No, I'm not going to let you do it.
No,
sorry,
she did it. She did that one story.
I'm not letting you do it. I'm not letting you smear these victims anymore. I'm just not going to let you do it.
He just cut her off. He just cut her mic off. Wow. He just cut her mic off. Well, good for you, Piers. Even though you're a twat and a coward, and I believe this was your plan the whole time, bringing her on. Like, Piers Morgan, come on, let's be fair here. He knows what she's about. He knows what time she's on. He knew she would come on here and say some awful, despicable stuff, because she does it time and time. Like, every time she comes on his show, she does the exact same thing. She defames a bunch of innocent people, and then she just, like, throws out these bullshit lies, like, drops, like, that no one can prove, that she can't prove, that no one can prove. Stop, Piers, stop. You're not innocent either, okay? You're not innocent either. And she is right about him being in the files, by the way. If you look up his name again, he is in the files. I have yet to find exactly anything he's done, if he has done anything wrong, but he is in the files, so, you know, she's right about that. But so is she. So is she. In fact, that's where I got that picture of her and Kash Patel from that's in the thumbnail. It's from the Epstein files. But this is why that they're gaslighting us. This is why that people are acting like this is no big deal. It's because every person with money or power are in these files. I mean, Virginia Hervey is right about that. Anybody who is technically anybody are in these files. So, what does that tell you? Well, it sounds like she's saying that since that it's a bunch of powerful and elite upper echelon people, that we should just be like, oh, okay, well, you know, if the cool people are doing it, then pedophilia is cool. I mean, that sounds essentially to be what she is saying to me. I mean, I don't know what other logic you could get out of her statements. It's almost like she's saying, well, just because me and all my buddies are in here, we got to make it sound cool and good because, you know, because I'm in the files. So obviously, if I'm in the files, then it's a bunch of winners. Yay, go us. Go us. You know, I think it's a shame her and Andrew couldn't work out back in the day because I think she would have been perfect for Andrew. They would have been perfect together. But here's what I find most pathetic of all about Lady Victoria Hervey is that she's doing all this for the royal family, and they don't look her way. Like, don't you realize, Victoria Hervey, that in the royal family's mind, you're scum, you're less than. If we're going off your philosophy on how these titles actually mean something in your mind, then that means that you will always be their bitch. But she clearly doesn't mind. I mean, she's obviously like throwing herself in front of the bus for this family, and it's just wild and pathetic and sad. And yeah, ugh. I just pray that if she has kids, I pray that her horrible, awful karma doesn't reverberate to them. But anyways, whoo! There's a lot going on. But yeah, I'll be back. Oh my gosh, I've been looking through the files just on a side note. Do you know that the Department of Education is mentioned hundreds of times in these Epstein files? That's my next big thing I'm going through. I'm going through all these Department of Education files because Jeffrey Epstein was heavily involved with the Department of Education. And it's it should be troubling to any of you parents out there who have kids in these schools that he was working with the Department of Education even after he was convicted in the early 2000s. He was working with them all the way up until he died. Not just the Department of Education in the Virgin Islands, but the Department of Education in Florida. So, yeah, let that sink in. But we'll be back to talk about it more.